Hi here again, Lagos Housewife Family Kitchen. Today, what I want to show you is my new pot. Actually, you know, when it comes to healthy eating, it's not just what we eat. Where we cook them also matters. So recently, I've actually started learning about pots, the kind of pots that are healthy, what each one brings to the table in related to healthy eating. And I've been finding out about clay pots. Yes, our normal regular clay pot. In fact, we really need to go back to the olden ways of cooking. Sure, you know. But this one I have here is a Japanese clay pot called a Donabe. I got it from a vendor online on Instagram. I'll put our contact details in the caption below. This is the cover. So beautiful. Who can believe it's clay? And this is the pot. It's quite heavy. Look at that. And you have to be careful with it because it's clay. If it drops, it can break. So let me put this down gently. See how beautiful it looks? This was what caught my attention. The moment I saw it, I was like, nah, I gotta have this. And then I ordered it and I went researching about it. This is Japanese Donabe, simply meaning Japanese clay pot. And one thing you should know about it is that clay pots in general, they help your food retain nutrients. They don't emit poisonous chemicals into your food. They are natural. They are made of clay, fired clay. All they did was just to fire it and smoothen it and everything like that. But I also found out that there are basic things you need to know about clay pots. Number one, before you start using it at all, you need to treat it. I think I've done a video on how to treat normal regular pots, but this one is not treated that way. Regular pots, they are treated with oil and in oven fire or on top of gas, but this is treated with starchy food. They need extremely starchy food. In some videos, they used water that they rinsed from rice. You know your raw rice, when you rinse it, the water, you use it, you boil it inside. For some people, they use water and flour. You know, flour is also a starch, but I'm not comfortable with flour that much. So for this, I'll be using, yes, and some people, they also use cooked rice that is already cooked. You know, most Japanese people don't wash out the starch in their rice like Nigerians. So they use the starch from cooked rice. But for us here in Nigeria, our cooked rice, we rinse and rinse and rinse all the starch away. So I will be using raw rice. And for that, the rice I'll be using is actually the starchiest rice I can find. The one that is used for tuwo rice in the north, for tuwo rice. This is extremely starchy. Don't rinse it, don't wash it, don't do anything with it. You are just going to cook it inside water directly like that. So let's get started. Let me show you how the clay pot, Japanese Donabe, is treated. So I've washed the pot. Since this is my first time of using it, I've washed it with mild soap and wiped it clean. I'm going to pour in water. We need lots of water for this. And the rice. I have roughly about a cup of rice. Don't wash, don't do anything. You are not going to eat it. You pour the rice away. We just need the starch. We cover, light the fire and bring to a boil. While we're waiting for the rice to boil, let me just tell you a few things about clay pots. Okay, you know I told you it's for health reasons. The 3 best pots to use for cooking that are natural, that are healthy, is clay pots, cast iron pots, and stainless steel pots. You'll notice that a lot of my pots have been changing to these 3 things the more I learn about them. Yes, that's why. And I've also found out while researching that clay pots retain up to 90% to 100% of the nutrients of food because it is made from material that is from the earth, natural, not refined, not factory processed materials and things like that. So it's actually very, very healthy. Regular metal pots actually retain only about 30% of nutrients in food. That's not good enough. So that's why I'm actually encouraging a lot of you to change your cookware to better cookwares. Now, stainless steel pots are good for as long as there's no scratch on it. The moment it scratches, please dispose of it, because it will start leaching chemicals into your food, which can cause health issues. Now, back to my clay pot. I want you to know that the quality of the clay pot you use matters a lot. I know we have clay pots in Nigeria. I'm going to research on it, because I actually fervently believe that our clay pots in Nigeria are extremely natural, extremely good. But the issue is that we have this mindset of babalawo concerning it. No, that's not the. I'm going to change everybody's mindset regarding that. Don't worry. I'm going to research on it and find out where they actually make them, and I'll let you know more about it. But for now, I actually went with the Japanese Donabe, because it's recognized worldwide as one of the best quality clay pots you can get. Now, I want you to know different clay pots have different ways of seasoning. So if you buy a Chinese clay pot, it has a different way of being seasoned. The Japanese one, the Nigerian one, different ones. There's the Morocco clay pot. So please, whenever you buy, follow the instructions that comes with each. They each have their different ways of being seasoned. Don't just assume that rice seasoning is the way to season clay pots. No, it might not be. And then one thing you should know with all clay pots is the fact that they are not meant to be used for deep frying. Don't put oil in it and say you want to fry akara or this thing. No, the temperature of the oil is too much for the clay pot. It can cause it to crack. Your clay pot is valuable, it's healthy. Please do not misuse it. And why are you deep frying anyway? You know you should have been reducing deep frying by now. And then one thing you should know, because clay pot is natural, is made from clay, it absorbs taste. It absorbs taste of food. So if you use it to like cook beans, and then you now want to use it to boil water, your water might end up tasting of beans a little bit. So whenever you use it, just wash it with a mild soap. It doesn't need strong detergent, no Omo, no key soap, just mild liquid soap that doesn't have a strong smell. Wash it and wipe it down. Always make sure there is no moisture in your pot, because it's natural, because it's made from clay. It can actually start growing grass like sand. It's very fertile. It can start growing grass if you leave water inside. So the rule is, whenever you finish washing it, wipe it down dry and turn it downwards to make sure any water remaining drains out, and also the back dries. The back too should not have water. That's one thing. So whenever you just clean everything dry, it doesn't take too much while. It's very easy. And when you season it like this, that's the only time you have to season it. It's not as if you have to continue seasoning it every time. Season it once before use and you're good to go. It's really not high maintenance. It's just healthy. And in fact, that's how we should even be doing pots. I hope you know leaving water in your pot is not good. Whatever kind of pot you are using. What I do with my pots, any type of pots, even if it's a non-stick, the moment I finish using it and maybe I'm done with the food, it doesn't mean the moment you finish using it now you have to pour the food out now. No, they are saying when you are done with the food, wash it, wipe it dry. Make it a constant habit. Don't be leaving water in any pot you have, and you get used to it. That's the best way to do things. Okay, so what else about my clay pots? That's basically it. It's heavy, yes, and that's something I also want to tell you about stainless steel pots. A lot of you think, oh, stainless steel is light. It's actually low quality stainless steel pots that are light. The heavier the stainless steel, the better the quality. So here's the thing: heavy pots, good. Cast iron, clay pot, stainless steel, heavy, good. So let me check my rice. You can see from this side that the rice has boiled over. You can see the starch. That's what we're looking for. So I'll open this. You can see how the rice has thickened with all the starch. When it actually started boiling, I reduced the fire and left it to simmer. So you can see this is what we're looking for. I'm deliberately spreading it to the side so that the starch can get to the sides and everywhere. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to cover it up and leave it to cool down for 1 hour. Then I'll rinse out the pot. That's all that is left. Cover it, let it cool for like about an hour. Then you rinse it out, pour out the rice and rinse the pot. One hour. So I've washed it out. You can see that all I'm going to do now is to wipe it. Yeah, so I'll also wipe the back. As I told you, this is very, very important. Anytime you are using it, make sure there's no water on the back at all. No single drop of water. So always wipe the back down. And when you're using it to cook, please don't put it empty on fire. Before you light the fire, make sure there's a liquid inside your water or whatever you're about to start cooking. So that because it's clay, it can crack easily with high heat. And if it's empty and there's just fire, it can crack it. And if there's water at the back and you put it on fire, the water can get too hot. The back water can get too hot and it can crack it. So those are just the things to note. Okay. So right now, all I'll do is just turn it down like this and leave it overnight. And that is the seasoning complete. So you see, that's how to season my Donabe, my Japanese clay pot. It's ready. And you see the way I put it to face down. Anytime you use it and you wash it and wipe it down, this is how you should leave it. Remember I told you, don't leave it covered because inside, because it's earth, it can start growing mold. You understand? Don't let it grow mold. So just once it's washed, wipe it down and leave it like this, face down till the next time you are using it again. Very simple. All the seasoning has been done. The reason we are leaving it overnight before you start using it again is so that the starch from the rice that has penetrated will have time to solidify very well. So that by the time you are now using it, everything is set. No leakage, no cracking, no nothing. It has acted like glue to make everything solid. As I said, this is the only time you need to season. After that, please feel free, use your Donabe, enjoy it. And now it's time for me to start showing you recipes using my Donabe. Watch out in the next videos. And yes, don't forget to like, to subscribe, to recommend this video to so many people. I really appreciate it. Thank you and see you next time. Ciao.